Hey everybody, my name is Sharon Quinn and I'm also known as the original Runway Diva, and you are watching Model Behavior. Class is officially in session. My guest lecturer today is a professional plus-size model, TV and radio personality, and an advocate and a philanthropist. Summer Wayans is a descendant of comedy royalty, according to Oprah Winfrey. Summer is the co-founder of the Wayans Girl Foundation, a nonprofit 501c3 organization. Welcome, Summer, to Model Behavior. How you doing?
Hi,
Your
Miss
pretty
Sharon.
self.
Thank you, thank you.
So you know, I looked at your bio, which I understand you edited greatly, and it was still pretty long. You've done a lot of stuff. Let's talk about the modeling stuff first.
Okay.
So you're a plus size model. You started off as straight size?
You know, I started off as a plus model, and I have done and had the blessing to be in Mercedes-Benz Fashion Week, where I was the only plus model.
Really?
Yeah.
What year was that?
Miami in 2013.
Oh, okay. What was that experience like?
It was amazing, and it was really a rush, you know, standing up there. It was a presentation style, so I'm standing up there in a swimsuit of all things, and to hear the feedback from women who had curves too, and even women who didn't, to say, oh my gosh, wait, hold on. There's a real woman standing up there. Not to say women who, you know, don't have these curves aren't real, but, you know, they were just really shocked that, you know, there was a plus size woman in there, and I was pleased to be the only one in the room.
Now, that wasn't your first foray into fashion, right?
No.
Okay. See you making a face.
Yeah.
What was how did you stumble onto plus size modeling?
You know, my very first experience was I saw a casting for women of all sizes, and I was like, wait, they actually have that available? And, you know, I diddled and doubted a little bit and played with it, and then Full Figure Fashion Week came to LA, and I was like, I'm gonna do it. You know, my first professional audition, and it was with you.
And we booked you for FFF Week LA, didn't we?
You did.
Yeah, we did. Now, did you get signed immediately after that, or did you have to pound the pavement a little bit longer?
No, I pounded the pavement a little bit longer. I did take your advice and took some photos with Inez Lewis, and those photos got sent over to Maddie, and Maddie sent them over to the agency, and then I got a call.
Okay. So what's it been like for you? How long have you been doing it?
So now I've been modeling professionally for 3 years.
And it's been a good
It's been amazing.
experience.
It's been an amazing experience. I mean, I never, ever thought I'd be modeling.
Why? You were so beautiful.
Thank you. You know, growing up, I would always hear, you have such a pretty face. And to me, what that translated is not the rest of you.
Yeah.
When I was 16, I went in, I was scouted, and it was a total scam. And so I just kind of had a bad taste, and I was just like, you know, I'm going to school. I don't have time for that. You know, I'm more than just a model. And then, you know, I found my way to it, and I was like, I am in love.
Now I'm going to ask the question that people think, but they don't want to ask. But I'm going to ask anyway. Now, Miss Oprah Winfrey herself says that you come from comedy royalty.
Yeah.
So everybody knows you're a Wayans.
Yes.
Damon, Keenan, all the rest of them, if y'all don't know who that is.
them.
But does that help, or did that hinder you to get through the doors in plus size fashion?
You know, it's funny because people see the name, but they don't know me. So they're just like, you're not Damon, Keenan, Kim. So, you know, so sometimes people don't really put two and two together. And sometimes they do, and it's a great thing. They're excited. They're like, oh my God, I grew up watching In Living Color. And then other times I'm like, okay, but we're supposed to be doing a photo shoot. You know, can we get to doing the work part? And this one time, somebody actually was mad because I guess they submitted a project that didn't go somewhere. And I was just like, I just want to audition.
Wow.
You know, so I guess with anything, and it can go any kind of way, but it's definitely allowed me to feel comfortable embracing the industry.
Now, do you act as well?
I dibble and dabble a little bit.
Now, Sabrina tells me that you started doing television in 2001 on BET's Teen Summit as a TV, as a guest host?
They actually came onto my campus one time, and, you know, I was like, what's going on here? And they loved the personality, and so they kept filming, and I was a cheerleader at the time, and they just wanted to have representation from my school. And
How long did you do Teen Sim? That's huge.
I think I did that show twice maybe, and then moved on to some other things and never really thought twice about it. I'm just like, oh, you know, it's Teen Summit. I see it on TV. It was cool, but you don't really think about those things when you're a kid on how big the things you're doing are.
Now, because it would seem obvious that you would be able to pick up a phone and say, Uncle, Auntie, I'm interested in such and such and such. Can you help me get a leg up in that? Do you ever do that? Has that worked in your, okay.
I mean, I'm very to myself, and you know, regardless, our family is very much so like, you better put in the work, because they worked really hard to be where they are. But definitely, if there's something they can do, you know, or put you in a room with somebody, you know, it doesn't hurt to ask.
Yeah.
But at the same time, you know, most things I used to ask for were like Marcus Houston tickets or something like that.
But I guess and it's just like, it's almost like having an agent. They can get you in, so, okay, I can make a phone call and get you the audition, but you have to get the job.
Yeah.
Correct?
And I mean, even like my brother was working on set with my Uncle Marlon, and he was a stand-in. And he had to work his way up, you know, and then he got a line. He's like, yeah, I got a line.
But that makes you appreciate it more,
Most
too.
definitely. There's nothing just handed to us.
Yeah.
So we're working hard.
So what was it like growing up in your family? Y'all are really close-knit?
We are so close, and there's so many of us. So I would say, imagine growing up in a household with a lot of people, a whole lot of love, and a whole lot of craziness.
Yeah, Thanksgiving must be amazing at your house.
Oh, yeah. So not to mention the great food, but there's a lot of laughs, you know, and we have multiple generations, you know, all in one place, and it's hard to get us all in one room, but we work it out.
And I bet you play the dozens really well. You quick on your toes. You have to be. In that family, you gotta be.
I am in the background, okay? I totally don't crack a joke on me because I might cry. I'm so sensitive.
Oh, that's right. That's a Pisces thing.
It is. I'm so sensitive. So I'll listen, you know, and
Girl, you better learn the art of the comeback.
Oh, I could. But then they might come back one harder, and then I'm going to be like, I'll be right back.
Oh, no.
So, you know, so I stay away from the games, but, you know, I watch. I learn from a distance.
Now, you also, in addition to being really, really beautiful,
Thank you.
You are smart, too. You have a bachelor's and a master's degree with an emphasis on multiculturalism. Okay, what's that?
Okay, so my bachelor's and master's are in psychology.
Okay.
And my emphasis is in like multicultural communities, multicultural people, diversity. I'm really interested in the others and those that are less served or underserved. Okay. That's really where my passion is.
Okay, so what do you want? What do you want to do with that?
I want to help the world. You know, when I started with psychology, I thought, okay, I'm going to be a clinician, you know, I'm going to do therapy. And then as I started researching and doing more things, I'm like, oh, well, I can also be this, that, and the other. And then I started modeling. Yeah.
You could use a psychology degree in fashion, though.
My brother goes, so you're going to be a doctor model? And I'm like, okay, let me explain. As a psychologist, I only have reach to so many people. And I've been around the world presenting my research, but I'm presenting to other people in my field, other people who have the same access to the resources that I have. So it's not really getting to the communities that it needs to be getting to. As a model, I have this great platform to have opportunities that I wouldn't have if I was just a psychologist. And I don't know if you could tell, I have a really big personality. And, you know, I couldn't just be that standard box of what's expected with this degree. I wanted to do a lot more with it and actually touch the people that it's meant to help.
And you're working on your doctorate.
I am.
You Girl, you are go high five. You are good.
Thank
I
you.
ain't going back to school. I'm not doing it. So let's talk about the Wayans Girl Foundation. This is an organization, a nonprofit that you created with your mom.
Yes.
Right. Let's talk about that. What is Wayans Girls Foundation? What do you guys do?
So my mom, Deidre Wayans, she's the eldest sister, and you know, she grew up. They came from the projects, and they had a really tough life. And you know, everything's beautiful now, but it doesn't change the struggle. And so I've had my own struggle, and we kind of recognized that we could be doing more for the community and trying to give back. So took her street smarts and my school smarts and kind of put them together to develop our foundation, where we essentially want to empower people by being able to give them resources and help connect them to resources when they're going through a crisis. And now what's a crisis to me might not be a crisis to the other person. So, I mean, it's broadly defined, but we want to be able to link them to the resources so that overall communities are going to be better. They're going to be healthier because they know where to go. A lot of the time people just don't know what to do when they're in a bad situation or where to go, and we'd like Wayans Girl Foundation to be that place.
Is it all encompassing, like battered women, or you lose your apartment, or
So we'll have various services. So it could be from, you know, someone's going through a divorce and child services. They need, you know, child care. You know, someone is battling cancer and, you know, their nutrition is suffering, so they need a nutritionalist. You know, we want to be able to provide those different outlets to people and by resources. These things exist out there. People just don't know how to get connected to them. So think of it like a connection hub. People can come and we can direct them to the resources, because there's so many resources out there that are underutilized because people don't know.
because you just don't know? Okay. Now, you guys are located on both coasts, or are you have offices in LA and New York?
Right
or
now,
is it...
we do our office is wherever we are. You know, we're starting up our development. We just launched it this year, so we're in the stage of still getting sponsorships. We're developing our board. We have established our nonprofit status, which was very, very,
Is that hard?
There's a lot of paperwork, and you have to make sure that you're, you know, falling within the guidelines, but definitely worth it because, you know.
Now you said you're a 501c3. I don't know what that is. Enlighten me.
Nonprofit means that we can take in money, but the money that we take in, we're spending it back out on the foundation, on our causes. People can donate and get a tax write-off because it's a 501c3. And so those statuses really help when it comes to taxes. That's really what all those numbers mean. But essentially, we're not in it to make big bucks. We're in it to bring in big bucks so that we can spend those on other people.
And where do you want to see? How long have you been doing this? How long has this company been around?
We launched our foundation earlier this year.
Oh,
so
you just
we're
launched
brand
it.
new.
Okay.
So there's no telling where this will take us. Eventually, we do want to have actual facilities where people can walk into across the nation. We don't want this to be limited to one community. We want it to be spread amongst many communities. So it's, you know, we're in it for the long haul. We're in the beginning stages, but I see great things.
How do you get the word out, though?
Like here on Model Behavior. You know, our website will be launching soon, wayansgirlfoundation.com. We did a foundation fundraiser with another organization that was already up and coming to get a Kickstarter for us. You know, just talking to people, connecting with people, that's really where it goes, you know, meeting people who need something, you know, and when you're able to help them and like, hey, here's a business card, hold on to this, you know, contact us, let us know. We have emails coming in, and that helps us to know what types of services we should be offering and what types of resources the people are actually needing.
See, that's the thing that feeds your soul, helping people, right?
Yeah.
That is such a Pisces trait. That's me all day long.
That's how we get along, you know?
Okay. Now, you are also on girl, you do a lot of stuff. You are on the advisory board for LA Boys and Girls Club?
I am, for the LA County Alliance. So we are over all the clubs that are in the Los Angeles area and ensuring that they get the resources that they need so that their programming can continue to enrich the kids that are coming to the Boys and Girls Club.
And you travel a lot. with this particular?
I do. I'm
position,
heading out
right?
on Tuesday for a board meeting in California. And I just had a speaking engagement with the Boys and Girls Club for their career day, their career panel last month, and next month I'll be doing the Teen Summit. So
Okay, see, you're a Pisces, so you and I know that we present really well, and we walk in a room, we're going to still focus, we're going to take attention, you're going to look at us, but we're really shy. If you know, and I know that for me, the public speaking thing, it took a long time for me to get around to doing that, and I still get really, really nervous talking to people. So how do you combat something like that to go around the country and just talk to people?
A lot of practice, but really in undergrad, I had a professor, Kidogo Kennedy, Dr. Kennedy, and she, you know, we had a speech class, and I was like, can I do another assignment instead of the speaking part? Like, I'll do 2 speeches, I'll write them out and everything. And she was like, why? And I was like, well, I get really nervous, I sweat, and da-da-da. And after my entire explanation, she was like, no. I was like, wait, what? You know, and she was like, no one else knows what you feel on the inside unless you let them know. She was like, speak about something that you love and you'll be fine. And I was like, but, and she was like, something you love. What do you love? And I was like, cheerleading, you know? And she's like, well, tell me about cheerleading. What do you do? And I was like, oh, well, we studied. And she's like, there you go. And so I just keep that in my mind. I'm like, inside, I'm like, oh. But, you know.
It's something that you're really passionate about,
Yeah,
so it's easy for you to, you better than me, okay, 'cause I talk about
Just
stuff I
speak
like
from the
all
heart.
day long, and it's gonna be funny because that's how I combat the nervousness is to just be a clown. But I don't know if I could be flying all over the country doing that. Anyway, now with your being a role model and you're getting an education and you're a public figure, what are your plans for the future?
Keep doing what I'm doing and doing it on bigger levels. I mean, I love what I'm doing, and I'm so fulfilled and happy, and it's just so nice. Like, I love what I do, and I just want to keep doing it. I just want to, my reach, I just want it to be so far out there. I mean, I'd love to, you know, I still haven't gotten a campaign for modeling, you know, I still got things to do with that. I still have goals, you know. The foundation, we still don't have facilities where people can walk into. I mean, that's a goal, you know, just continuing.
Now you brought the modeling thing back up, so I'm gonna swing back to
Oh,
that.
let's go there.
Now you told me before the camera started rolling that you're freelancing now.
I am.
Now, is that harder for you than having an agent? Because you know a lot of models, aspiring models, they all want to be signed with agencies, but you and I know that that's not always the best thing for you because that you and the agent may not be a good fit.
Right.
So, but freelancing is really hard
It is.
because you're your own modeling agency, your own accountant, your own receptionist, all of that. So has that been challenging for you, freelancing as opposed to having a mother agency?
I think it's kind of like a give and take. So with being freelance, you have that freedom to do what you want to do. And with that, it's like even making your own mistakes, you know, and sometimes those are really, really valuable mistakes. And then on the other side, having an agency, sometimes it's easy to just get a call like you have a job on this day or you have a casting on this day. But then at the same token, if I see something last minute or I'm talking to someone and they want to work with me and, you know, it gives me those opportunities as well.
That was a good segue because I was going to ask you. So now you don't have an agent. You don't have the access to all of the information on everything that's going on, maybe that day or that week and all the castings.
Yeah.
So how do you find out what's happening in the industry?
So what you put in is what you're going to get out. I'm always researching. I stay on social media. I stay try to stay connected to people who are in the industry, who are doing what I want to do. I watch the models who are doing, booking the jobs that I'm like, oh, that might be a good job for me later on, or, that's a good company. Oh, I didn't know this person had plus size. And, it's a matter of networking, opening your mouth, speaking to someone, because you never know who you're sitting next to or who, is across from you in a room. And, for me, social media is awesome because sometimes I see people all the time and don't know. I'm like, oh, that's that blogger that I follow who is connected to this company. Oh, and they're having this event where so-and-so and so-and-so is going to be there. I need to be at that event. I need to make sure everybody has my card, my number. I want to have everybody else's contact information because it's a lot of legwork, during Fashion Week, being present, going out to events, trying to get into runway shows, whatever it is, being there, being on the scene and being seen.
Do you test a lot?
I do. Shooting all the time, which is fun, but
it's expensive.
Yeah, that was coming right next. So, but you got to do it.
Why do you have to do it?
You learn something new every time. Every time I shoot, I learn something new, and I'm like, and I'm learning new angles, and, I'm like, oh, wait a minute, hold on, I like that left side too much. Let me turn to the right, or walking with, hey, we all have those favorite sides, okay? I'm like, what side is it? This one, So, there's all kinds of things like that where it's definitely.
How often do you test?
I try to make sure that I test at least every 3 months. That's as much as my pockets can stretch right now. And I definitely try to make a mix. Since I'm back and forth between LA and New York, there's two completely different looks.
Yeah.
So I'm like, okay, well, we got to get some LA looks now. We got to get some New York looks. Oh, fall's coming up. We got to change out. I'm constantly changing out my photos. Just paying attention to what the clients want, what they're looking for, and seeing if that matches with who I am and what I know I can be.
Explain that. You said if it matches who you are. Because a lot of models don't go that deep into thinking, and it's very important. So explain that.
I think that I take it as a blessing that I went the education route first, and I started modeling a little bit later in life because I really had an opportunity to get really comfortable with myself and know what I'm comfortable with and what I'm not, and what my expectations are and what feels good for me. So when things don't feel good for me, I step away from them. And so I have to be fulfilled, and I'm not going to do a job that, I'm going to look back at and be ashamed of. I think about it, I'm like, is my mom going to be okay with this?
Come on.
I did, for Full Blossom magazine, I didn't have a top on, but I had Black Lives Matters across my back. And I felt like for me, that was worth it because it meant so much to me, But even still, I ran that past Big Brother. I ran that past Mom, and I'm grown. But these are the things that I think of when I'm looking at a job, and what does this company represent? Are they representing something that's in line with me? I'm very vocal about my passions and things like that. So I want to work with people who mesh well with me.
And you have to be careful because back when I was doing it, there was no internet, okay? Now the internet is out there, and the stuff you put out there, it only take a second to screenshot something, and that's it, okay? So you have to be really, really careful about your image. And I don't think a lot of chicks that are coming in this game, and men also, I don't think they think about that a lot. And as a result, my Facebook feed, I see a lot of questionable stuff coming up there, and I'm just like, oh. So as a casting person, that's going to be in the back of my mind, because I can't have you with some old crazy picture that you shot on vacation somewhere, and it's questionable, but I want to book you for something that I'm doing, and I don't know how my backers are going to feel about the stuff that you're putting out there. So it's a business. You got to think about that.
I guess it works both ways,
Absolutely.
The company is going to be thinking about what's good for them, and as models, we need to think about what's going to be good for us as well.
Absolutely. All right, let's talk about the philanthropy piece. I don't know if I've ever met a philanthropist. Have I? I may have. But let's talk about quickly, because I'm pretty sure we're close to running out of time. But let's talk about your philanthropy.
Well, we've kind of touched on some of the things. So by being on the board, there's, we make donations, things of that nature. By starting the foundation and the things that I'll be doing to give back, I donate my time and my services a lot to speaking, to hosting, whatever it might be, for events that are going to benefit disenfranchised or underserved populations, and those are the things I like to do. So it doesn't really feel like much. My sorority, we have a philanthropy, Delta Zeta.
Oh, see, I would have done that had they had that on campus when I was there. They didn't, so.
Yeah,
But,
so.
yeah, I like Deltas. My sister's a Delta.
No, that's a different Delta, I'm sure.
What's
You
your
talking
colors?
about, I'm like, you talking about Deltas, like Delta, the
What did you say your
historically.
sorority was again?
Delta Zeta.
Oh, blue and white. The blue and white.
See, let me back up. Historically, we're not a black sorority. However, we're based on Christianity and philanthropy and giving back to communities. And that is something that really resonated with me. But they didn't have those Deltas and like AKAs on my campus because they got shut down.
Oh, all right. Well, so it's not the blue and white.
Nope.
Okay.
No.
What are your colors?
We're pink and green, but not.
You confusing me. Pink, that's AKA.
We're not AKs.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
I tried.
Well, we are just about out of time. I'd like to thank my guest, Summer Wayans, for sharing her industry knowledge with us today. Before I go, as always, I'd like to leave you with a few thoughts. I want you to, number one, remember that you can't change the game until you first learn the game. 2, always surround yourself with positive people and positive things. And 3, do what you love and love what you do. Don't forget to like us on Facebook, follow us on Instagram, Twitter, and Pinterest. If you missed an episode of Model Behavior, now you can catch up on all the previous episodes on our new YouTube channel. Just Google Model Behavior with Sharon Quinn and all of our previous episodes will come up. Thanks for watching Model Behavior, you guys, and I'll see you next week. Class is officially dismissed. Bye, y'all.